Welcome to MLSsoccer.com's 2013 MLS season preview. We're in New York City at the Football Factory at Legends. I'm Greg Lalas, editor-in-chief of MLSsoccer.com. In this episode, we're answering the granddaddy of them all. This is the big one. This is the question. Who will win the MLS Cup? Let me introduce the expert
Probably not
panel.
me.
Probably not you, as usual. Taylor Twellman from ESPN and a two-time goal-scoring champion in Major League Soccer.
And loser of 4 MLS Cups.
I didn't want to actually mention
Whatever.
that.
We are talking MLS Cups.
We are talking about MLS Cups. Jason Saghini, director of video for MLSsoccer.com, and the history book, I would say, for Major League Soccer among us in particular.
I've been to 10 MLS Cups.
He's been to a lot of them. Craig Waibel, the only person on the panel with 4 MLS Cup, actually the only one with 1 MLS Cup even, but he did win 4 of them with LA, San Jose, and the Houston Dynamo. And Andrew Wiebe, new media editor for MLSsoccer.com and a rising star in the world of American soccer journalism.
Just want to put it out there, I've won every MLS Cup I've played in.
You've won every MLS Cup. All right, guys, this is the question, and we're going to start with the only guy who actually has won one at the table. Craig Waibel, ready? Who will win the 2013 MLS Cup?
This is a difficult one for me because I love a couple different teams this year. I really think there's a couple teams that will threaten the MLS Cup, but I think the team that ultimately wins it is San Jose. The continuity, there's always ifs and buts, but get healthy, Leonard's there, Gordon's there, they've got a balance, they've got pieces, and Frank coaches a very specific, simple style to understand. It's not going to be the same team as last year. They're not going to blow everyone out of the water, I don't think, with another 70-some goal season. But I do think in the end, they get it sorted out on the defensive side of the ball, and they win.
How many goals they scored last year after the 85th minute at some point runs out?
It was unbelievable.
But that good luck does run out.
I actually am going back to the well that I went to last year where I was wrong, but I think they might have it this year. I think the Seattle Sounders. I don't have the Sounders winning the Supporter Shield. I don't think they will be the best team in the regular season, but I do think in the end they will make it work in the playoffs, and I do think they will add another piece, especially with Tiffert gone. If Tiffert goes, I think they will add another piece in the attack in the second half of the season that will propel them through
Huge reason for Seattle that I think it's their first time no CONCACAF Champions League. So come playoff time, I don't think they have to worry about the extracurricular stuff, the lineups. I think for the first time, and they got their first win last year, so you get that monkey off your back, so to speak. I think they go into the playoffs. I don't know why, because I don't think this year's team is going to be as good as last year's team talent-wise. But because of that schedule plays out for them, and they finally won that game last year, and they arguably should have beat LA at home, I think they got a shot. I really do. There's something there.
One big move, I think, was getting rid of Montero, who
Couldn't
I think
agree
that
more.
Seattle would like to have relied upon if he had pulled through in those big games, and he didn't.
Craig, you need 1 goal against LA, 70th minute, and you take him off the field. Right then you knew he wasn't coming back.
And in the end, though, you touched on a really important thing. How many teams are there in the league that are, quote-unquote, supposed to win the championship? 2, Los Angeles and New York. We all know it. They're the ones who spend the money. They're the ones who have the conglomerate of stars.
There are a couple
Seattle
100,000
spends money,
fans
but they
in
spend
Seattle
it differently. They spend it differently. But expectation-wise, New York and LA are always in that conversation.
See, I think this is the make or break year for Ziggy. I think if they don't win it, I think they might look elsewhere for coaching, because I think Seattle wants to win and expects to win. And because they've won the Open Cup, they've kind of always been able to say, well, we won something. Well, guess what? I think this year they have to win.
Andrew has a very different name that he throws in there.
Yeah, I think it's going to be DC United. I know they had a great regular season last year. They made the run in the playoffs. You look at what they did it without Dwayne DiRosario. They did it without a healthy Chris Pontius. They added pieces this offseason. They're a year older. All those young parts, your De Leons, your Chris Corbs, your Kitchen in the middle.
Don't forget the old part, the new one, El Pescadito is back.
I love them. Are they better than Houston in the East?
No.
That's a team that I'm very surprised we hadn't mentioned, because Houston was good last year, and I'm pretty sure they got a lot better.
They go get Omar Cummings and Eric Bruner. And I will say this, Eric Bruner, if he's healthy from his concussion, underrated center back.
I'm going to throw one more team out there for you guys. Sporting Kansas City. They won the Eastern Conference last year. No one has mentioned them.
They're actually my pick for the Supporters Shield. So I don't think they're going to do it in the end in the playoffs, but I do think they're going to have a very solid season. As much as people are doubting Baylor, I think he's a great pickup. I think he will mesh with the team eventually. And the other thing about Kansas City that I think will help them, I kind of think Kai Kamara is going to come back after the loan. I know a lot of people think he's going to stay and he's gone. I think he's going to
change
get
my
a taste. He's going to get a taste. He's going to say, you know what? I had a really good thing going in Kansas City, and I think he's going to come back and kind of
And the
push
play
them.
is not all that much better or anything like that. Certainly not at Norwich, so, right? Andrew, what were you going to say?
Well, I was going to say you guys discount the fact decimated DC, almost knocked off Houston last year. So I get it. I love Houston. I think they're going to be there, but
Almost has lost a lot of times.
every time. But this
That should be your second ever tweet. Almost has lost a lot of times. That would be a brilliant one.
If you attach me on there, though, I'll punch you in the face.
Tell everyone what your first tweet was.
I'd slide tackle my own mom if she was dumb enough to put the other team's jersey on.
Brilliant. The best first tweet ever. And if you have any questions or comments for @CraigWeibel, make sure you hit him up on Twitter with that. The question was, who will win the MLS Cup in 2013? Let us know in the comments. Let us know on any of our personal Twitter accounts right here. That's it for this episode of the 2013 MLS season preview on MLSsoccer.com. Make sure you watch all of the episodes, and don't forget, the season starts on Saturday, March 2nd. Huge games starting off the season. We'll see you all season long. Guys, thanks very much for joining us.
Blast.
And you know what? Have a great season, everybody. We'll talk to you later on.